Hi, first time at the Moth. Thank you. Speaking of authenticity. Okay, so we recently welcomed a new arrival in my family. He's 86. We named him Uncle Rick, and when Uncle Rick found my family through Ancestry.com, my dad, on his 75th birthday, finally got that older brother that he had wished for his entire life. And my mom immediately sent off her DNA to Ancestry.com, and they sent her back, you guessed it, an older brother. And this one we named Keith. So between Uncle Rick and Keith, that particular month, Ancestry.com was just having a clearance sale on older brothers. And turns out, that's not all they were selling that I didn't know I needed. They were also hawking the truth because we found out we're not Cherokee. Okay, and this was a big shock because my entire life I was told many times that I am part Cherokee, and I in turn told a lot of people. So now I'm in the process of untelling. And how do you go about unraveling a part of your authentic identity that you have wrapped around yourself for so long? It's not easy. So you have to start somewhere. And for me, it all starts with one lady, my grandma Millen. She told me she was 1/4 to 1/8 Cherokee, and that made me part Cherokee, and I believed her. And it wasn't just that. Grandma also had these stories. There was this one story she would tell while she was braiding my hair, and it was the story, I swear to you, of Plum, my Cherokee relative who died when she was training a horse, and the horse threw her in the air, and her body came down and was speared through the belly by a cornstalk. So I became a storyteller. And I was already a dreamer, and because I believed that we were part Cherokee, I always dreamed I could one day become more, though I had never visited a reservation. The first time I spoke with a Native American, it was on the campus of Akron University, and I'd walked in to get a sandwich, and then it was the answer to all my dreams. There was this table, and it said Native American table, and I was like, sign me up. And the guy who was sitting there, he looked at me, and I looked at him, and he said, hey, are you Native American? And don't judge me. I said, my grandmother was Cherokee. And at the time, this was 1/4 to 1/8 true, right? So he said, I could tell. And I was like, he can tell. And so that tiny conversation sparked a flame, and it just grew into an entire forest fire. And then in my 20s, I leaned so hard into my Cherokee identity. Everybody came along, my friends and my boyfriends. And so there was one boyfriend, and he's here today, and we got married, and he fell in love with me. And he asked me to marry him. I said yes, and we were really excited to bring together our family trees, one which we both thought had Cherokee. So we threw a Cherokee wedding. We sent out hand-painted invitations with ears of corn, and they were stamped in red and blue, and we replaced all of the flowers with wheat sheaves. And we wrote and we said our vows in Cherokee. And nobody in my family speaks Cherokee, so this limited us, but my husband vowed something. You'll have to ask him. I don't really know, but I learned a little Cherokee, and I limited myself to the vocabulary of a beginner, and I said, Osio Nagada, I see you. Great Spirit sees us. I am wife. Good? And with that, we were married, and my family, it went down into the annals of our family lore forever. And whenever I see them, they bring up my big, beautiful Cherokee wedding. But I gotta say, when we told our newly arrived uncles that story, they were not impressed because they brought with them the news, we are not in fact Cherokee. And I had a really hard time letting go. So I had one last thread to pull. I went to my great Aunt Janice at the age of 90. I said, Janice, is it true? Are we really not Cherokee? What about Grandma's stories? What about the story of Plum? And she said, oh, honey, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about Mrs. Plum, Mrs. Amanda Plum. Why? She was Cherokee, but you're not related to her by blood. You see, Mrs. Plum adopted your great-great-grandma Keel, her brother and sister, when they were orphans, German settlers in the Ohio Appalachian Valley. And with that piece of information, like the forest fires of my youthful dreaming were completely extinguished. And ask any old person, you can rake through the fires of your youthful dreams, and you can find embers that are still burning, right? I mean, and for me, the embers that burn true to this day, I love storytelling. I have 2 new uncles. They're not going anywhere. And I've got Grace. And that's not a half-sister, although it might happen. Mrs. Amanda Plum, had it not been for her adopting the children of her enemy, I wouldn't be here. That brings up another ember from my wedding. My sisters both sang Amazing Grace in Cherokee, and the whole congregation sang along. And they used the Cherokee lyrics that were printed in our Lutheran hymnals. And, to this day I hear it, and it doesn't matter that I don't know the language, because Moth, grace in every language, is still amazing. Thank you.